All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we got to talk. So today, the jobs report came out and it was much lower than expected. Much lower than expected. So I have one question for all Trump supporters out there. And I'm hoping that you are a Trump supporter and you can help me answer this question. The question that I have is, what excuse do you have now? What excuse are you going to find for your lowercase g God? That's who I call Trump is like y'all's lowercase g God. Y'all worship this man. So I want to play a clip and then I want to just go over a few different points that I have because I'm really curious to know after this report came out, what excuse do y'all have about this? Just let me know. All right. So let me play the video real quick and then we'll get back to it after that.
What are these numbers? What are we seeing in this?
Well, Omar, look, after years of resilience, the U.S. job market looks increasingly fragile, especially after the latest numbers that just came out. So this report just moments ago shows the U.S. economy added 22,000 jobs in August. That is very low. It's also just a fraction of the 77,000 jobs that had been expected. The unemployment rate went up to 4.3% from 4.2%. That was expected, but this is notable because this is the highest unemployment rate since October of 2021, and it breaks a stretch where the unemployment rate had kind of stayed in this very low range. Still relatively low, but moving in the wrong direction. The other big news here, though, is what happened as far as revisions. We saw that July was revised a little bit higher. But more important was June. June was revised from a low number of just 14,000 jobs were added to now negative 13,000 jobs. It's not quite showing up on that bar chart, but June is the first month where the U.S. economy lost jobs since December of 2020 during COVID. So this breaks a nearly 5-year stretch of job growth, of uninterrupted job growth in the U.S. economy. That's the second longest stretch in U.S. history, but now it's over. And when we're digging into some of the sectors here, a couple things stand out. We're seeing a number of the goods producing sectors in the U.S. economy lose jobs, right? We're talking about construction lost 6,000 jobs in August. Mining and logging also lost jobs. Manufacturing lost jobs as well. 12,000 jobs for manufacturing, which is, I think, pretty notable because one of the issues in this economy is all the uncertainty over trade policy, right? Tariffs are supposed to be supporting the manufacturing industry, but instead, the manufacturing industry is actually losing jobs for 4 months in a row. This is the unemployment rate going back to 2020. You see that massive spike on the left side of the screen. Of course, that was COVID, came down dramatically, stayed at historically low levels. But now, on the right side of your screen, you can see it is starting to tick higher. So I think you got to put all of this into the bigger picture, right? We've gotten a number of different indicators showing that this job market really is starting to stall out. And you're looking at U.S. markets reacting. The Dow futures were down a little bit before this. They actually came up just a tiny bit from where they were. Not a major reaction, I think, from investors. I think that's because in a lot of ways, this report, it probably seals the deal on an interest rate cut later this month from the Federal Reserve. Wall Street was already thinking it was basically a slam dunk. And I think that this latest weakness, including the fact that the unemployment rate is up to a nearly 4-year high, I think that's probably going to seal the deal on a rate cut from the Fed, which is obviously something the White House has been calling for. Of course, they wanted a cut because of low inflation. That's probably not the reason, right? The reason would be because of low hiring.
And of course, this is the first jobs report since, the controversy over the regular reporting of jobs numbers last month. And so even these numbers could get revised in the future. But as you just laid out in June, the numbers could also get revised down.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, revisions are normal. It happens, right? As the BLS gets new survey responses in from the businesses they talk to, they're going to update their numbers just like a meteorologist who updates their hurricane forecast when they get new data. Unfortunately, these updates, though, they've been mostly coming into the downside and again, showing that hiring has really stalled out here.
And it's negative in June. It's just the floor of that graph is zero.
Negative, exactly.
We can't see it. Matt Egan,
thanks so
appreciate being on the Breaking News as always. Kate?
All right. So there's the clip. Do y'all remember all these promises and all these things that a lot of these Trump supporters were saying at the beginning, like actually during the election? They kept saying the reasons why they were voting for him. They were saying stuff like, These immigrants are stealing our jobs. Trump is going to get in there. He's going to fix the economy. He's going to bring construction back. He's going to do a construction boom for us. He's going to make the stocks go up like crazy. He's going to do like all these crazy ideas that they were claiming they were voting for him for. They're not coming to fruition. So what is your excuse? Why do you continue to support this guy? What is it? He's like, how have you benefited from anything that he's done? I can tell you things that I've actually personally lost because he's been in office personally. So tell me, what are some of the personal things that you have gained since Trump has gotten into office? Because like I said earlier, he says he's going to grow the economy. Then he gets in there and starts playing around with tariffs because he doesn't understand how tariffs works. That makes companies who actually know what they're doing start taking precautions, selling things off, having all kind of issues, laying people off. And then that makes their worth drop like crazy because everybody else is forecasting that that company is now going to go plummet down. And so the tariff thing killed everything as far as the economy goes. City's going to reduce unemployment. Unemployment just went up. So that's not happening. City's going to have a construction and a manufacturing boom. But like the guy just said, there were 6,000 jobs lost there this month. People claim that immigrants were stealing jobs. Now that people are being shipped out of this country, why are there so many jobs open? If y'all were needing these jobs that the immigrants were doing, now that the immigrants are gone, why are these jobs open still? What's up with it? Like, what's the example? Like, what's the explanation behind that? Please let me know. And then when they talk to Trump, when he's in there talking to all those billionaires last night, and they're asking him about the job report, he's in there saying, let's wait until you see it next year. This dude, like, and you followers are just going to believe that. Y'all going to say, you know what? That does make sense. Let's wait till next year. Knowing if it was Obama or Biden in the office, y'all be jumping all over them saying, no, we need the reports right now based on what they are now and compare those to what the last group did. That's what y'all be saying. But since your guy, your lowercase g God is in there, you got to stick with it. And the crazy thing is, the last time we saw numbers like this is when Trump was in office. That's when COVID was hit. Now COVID's gone. Biden got in there, fixed all the issues. Now Biden's gone. And the numbers have gone right back down to where, like, they're back down to COVID numbers. Like, what are we doing? The worship is crazy. Y'all got to get past this worship stuff. And that's why when people ask me, am I Republican or Democrat? I say I'm independent, but I lean Democrat. The reason why I say that is because if there was somebody who was crazy and they took over the Democratic Party, I would not follow the Democratic Party anymore. I'm a man enough, I'm an adult enough to be able to say, I'm not just going to blindly follow somebody and worship them like they're some kind of God or something. I've always voted Democrat, but if there was somebody who took over the Democratic Party, I would not vote for them. All of you guys who claim to be Republicans your whole lives, and you claim to be Christians your whole lives, and you claim that you vote for Republicans because they are the Christian party. Now you've got somebody in charge who's name calling, who consistently lies, who talks about how he abuses women, who has some type of affiliation with these files that haven't been released yet. And you're following this guy because he's in charge of the Christian group and you're a Christian? Like, what? Like, we're in the upside down world right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it, but please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is craziness, man. I don't know what we're living through. This is nuts. It's nuts. It's crazy. I don't understand it, but we're going to continue growing this channel one like at a time, one subscription at a time. So I appreciate your support. Thank you. Take care. God bless. Peace.